Hey, it's MK, and I am back for another 31 days of cut file fun. And this one here is quite an interesting cut file, and I could have taken it several different directions. But I'm going to keep it a little on the simplistic side just because of the fact that my photos more have a story than they are a visual of interest, if that makes any sense. And I do plan on using this black fabric, which is just a bag that I have received some product in. I was debating on whether or not to use this cute polka dot tissue paper, but I'm not really sure. I love this wood grain from Coco Vanilla's Legendary collection. It is the outdoors type piece of paper. I have my interesting title, which is definitely going to spark a conversation. And then, of course, I have my two photos, which is our origami birds that we took our dirty napkins and folded into, and then of course the restaurant that we were at, which is just an Outback Steakhouse. This was one of the little trips that my daughter and I had taken up to Twin Falls, and just it was a girls' day. My oldest daughter, by the way. I also have some of these Maggie Holmes flowers and this die cut that I had backed from another layout, and I thought, well, let me double check it. So what I'm doing is I basically want to take some of these squares and make them solid black, make them look like dining tables at a restaurant is basically what I was trying to go for. Now, most restaurants, when you walk up to the counter to go and get seated, there's a seating chart where it says, okay, in this zone are these tables and this zone, and each zone is manned by a waiter or waitress. And this file, when I first started looking at it, reminded me of that type of map that you could find on a restaurant. And so I was like, oh, maybe that's what I'll do. And then I will cut out solid squares in order to see the tables a little bit better. And then the other lines on the cut file will represent like walking paths of the waiters and waitresses. Anyways, my brain is working here. So at first when I started, I had a hard time visualizing what it was. Plus I didn't want to overdo the squares and I didn't want to underdo the squares. So I had to go and fix my photos and map them on my black fabric. I had to go and do all of those things before I could finish my cut file. So once I figured out which ones I wanted as solid squares, I went ahead and finished my cut file. Well, then I wanted to bring in this polka dot, and I thought, oh, it covers up almost all of the cut file. So no, I don't want to do that. I want the cut file to be the star of the show. So I'm going to put the cut file down at a diagonal. So each corner of the cut file will touch the edge of my wood grain. And the wood grain reminds me of the floor in the Outback Steakhouse. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is just all coming together so perfectly. So at first I was getting ready to cut that cut file, the backed one. I was getting ready to cut it in half and put it above my photo and below my photo. And then I thought, nope, I'm going to try these Maggie Holmes flowers that I fussy cut a long time ago, you guys. This was probably at least from 2 years ago, at least. I don't know. Time blends in so well. That's why we document, because we can't ever keep track. I can't keep track of time. All right. So I decided that these work really well. I even like how they're kind of sort of on the cream side, even though my cut file is stark white. That's okay. I remedy that because it's kind of a grungy look. And I thought, okay, I'm going to have some of my flowers behind the tables or cut file, and some of the flowers behind my photos. And I like the layering effect. Now I'm pushing the flowers up enough to where those bottom backed cut files as well as the top backed cut files aren't covered too much. Now here is where I will be able to kind of make sure that everything blends together, even though I'm working with creams and whites, is I'm going to take my Altenew pure white spray ink and just splatter everywhere. I don't want to do too much splatter, but I want to do just enough to where it allows the elements to blend together. And I absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. And then I'm going to really quickly attach my title. Now, the point of my title is I took my daughter to this restaurant, and when it came time for our check, the gentleman asked, do I need to separate the checks? And I kind of looked and my daughter kind of smiled and I said, no, I'll pay for my daughter. And the guy was so embarrassed. Now, I told the guy not to worry about it because it was actually quite flattering that he thought we were sisters. I thought it was great that I looked that young. And it was definitely a story that we still talk about today. So when we are waiting for the check and we are completely bored, I do play origami either with the little paper thing that comes around the paper napkins or the dirty napkins. And we just left our birds hanging out there next to the check after we paid it. And that is it. We are done. I absolutely love the simplicity of this layout and how simple it came. Not a whole lot of elements, not a whole lot of anything, except for a story. That's all it basically was. And the title and the photos help tell my story. All right. Be sure to check out Christina, who is playing over live on Facebook today. Let's see how she handles this cut file. I am very, very interested in what she does with this, especially going live. All right, I will check y'all later. Bye.